3. Let's review again the different regions of the United States. We have
Northeast, South, and
okay, you might want to look. I heard somebody say northwest. Then why would you say west?
I didn't.
Somebody did, hon. I heard somebody say it. So if it wasn't you, then be quiet.
It was somebody up there.
Okay, Michael, you're causing more confusion than necessary. So please stop. If it wasn't you, then you don't need to answer. Somebody keeps saying northwest, and I need you to stop. I need you to look at the words and read them. And if it wasn't you, then you need to stop talking. Because if it wasn't you, I'm not talking to you. Is that understood? All right, start again.
Northeast, Southeast, Midwest.
I heard it again. I heard southwest. This is not southwest. This is
Southeast,
northeast,
Southeast.
Because east is to the right. West is to the left. North is up, south is down. Remember the compass rose, guys?
Yeah.
All right, so this one is southwest.
Midwest, and West.
All right. Now today we are actually going to start this region right here. This is not in your book. It's not what we're going to do in your book. So stop looking at your book and actually look up here. Everybody needs to look it up here. 2 people did not know the continents, oceans on their tests. I'm not going to say which one was on the test because somebody hasn't taken it yet. But you had to know the continents and the oceans. 2 people didn't know them. Are you going to learn these if you're not looking up here? No. So get your eyes up here and pay attention. Maine, New Hampshire,
Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, Rhode Island,
this itty bitty one right here is Rhode Island.
Connecticut,
Connecticut. Everybody say that.
Connecticut,
New York. This is also part of New York.
Pennsylvania, New Jersey,
No.
Maryland.
This is Maryland. That little thing right there, that dot is Washington, D.C. It's on the border between Virginia and Maryland. Okay? And this one is
Delaware.
This purple one right here, that is not Washington, D.C. That's Maryland. That's where most of you live. I live in Pennsylvania, but most of you live in Maryland. All right, we're going to do it one more time. Eventually, I'm going to flip this around. You will have to know them, so you need to be looking at them while we do it. Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware. We're not going to say Washington, D.C. every time. Washington, D.C. is not really a state. It is a capital of the United States.
Yes.
It is our nation's capital. All right, now look at Map Skills 3. This is a town map, and you see roads running from east to west and roads running from north to south. Okay? You need to actually open your book to Map Skills 3, please, and you will need a pencil, just a regular pencil. Now, notice to the side, on the left-hand side, they do have a compass rose, so you can see the north, south, east, west, and in between, the northeast, the southeast, the northwest, and the southwest. Does everybody see that compass rose?
Yeah.
On the right-hand side of the map, they have what's called a map key. All right, so they show you some symbols that represent different things on the map. Okay, Map Skills 3 is on page 5. So quickly get to page 5, please. Now, read at the top of the page, it says, maps often have small pictures or symbols that stand for real things. A map key tells you what the symbols on a map mean. All right, so you look and you see that first symbol that has 3 blue lines curving, that represents a river. Then you see a slide, that would mean a park. And then you see a boat, that represents a lake. A cross is a
Church.
A badge is a
Police station.
fire is,
Fire station.
and then that little constructed piece is a
Bridge.
bridge. And it looks like a bridge, doesn't it? And trees would represent a
Forest.
Graduation hats, that means
School.
book,
Library.
shopping cart,
Store.
and then a house is a
House.
which makes sense.
House is
All right, so as you're looking at this map, you see those different symbols on the map, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, which street is close to the forest and crosses over the river? Close to the forest, crosses over a river. Joey?
Is it Center Street?
Nope. Close to the forest and crosses over the river.
Forest Drive.
Forest Drive. That one is the one that's closest to the forest. Center Street does cross the river, but is it closest to the forest?
No.
Forest Drive is
I
closest
thought it was
to the forest.
Center Street because that went over a river.
So does Forest Drive. Look at it. See right there? See the bridge right there? See the river goes that way and curves up? So the forest is closest to Forest Drive, and there's also a bridge where you have to go across a bridge that crosses the river, right? There's two bridges. Actually, there's more than two bridges. But anyway, everybody should write Forest Drive. It is the road going from east to west across the top. Please copy Forest Drive at number 1 right now, please. If you haven't done that yet, I don't know why some of you guys are just sitting there. The road at the top of the map is called Forest Drive. It's closest to the forest and it crosses the river. So copy the words Forest Drive. Notice Forest and Drive are capitalized because it is the name of a particular place, a particular street. Forest and Drive both need to be capitalized. There are 13 houses on Church Street. Now, listen carefully. Every year, my class does not get this right because they forget that Church Street has a left side and a right side as you're driving down Church Street. So put your finger on Church Street and you're going to drive down Church Street and make sure you go all the way from one end of Church Street to the other end of Church Street. And make sure you count the houses on both sides. Count the houses on both sides of Church Street. All right, it says there are 13 houses on Church Street. Raise your hand if you agree. Too many of you do not agree. Are you remembering to count the houses on both sides of Church Street? If you go above, on the part that's above Church Street, so north of Church Street, I see, starting at one end, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go the other side, the part below, 8, 9, 10, 11. Go across Center Street. There's number 12. Go all the way past the church. There's number 13. If their driveway, you can see their driveways. If their driveway goes out to Church Street, then they are on Church Street. You guys can see the driveways for each house. So Church Street is running this way, right? It has two sides of the street. So if you go down Church Street one way, counting the driveways, and then go back up Church Street, counting the driveways on the other side, there are 13 driveways that exit onto Church Street, right? There is one house that is right beside Center Street. Its driveway goes to Center Street, not to Church Street. You guys see that?
Yes.
All right, so yes, that would be true. So everybody should circle true. All right, the library is near the corner of which two streets? So remember our map key? What was the picture for the library?
The book.
A book. So find the symbol for a book and find out what two streets is the library on the corner of. Just give me one.
Main.
One, just, yeah. Grant.
Main Street.
Main Street is one, and what is the other one? Michael?
First Street.
First Street. So Main Street and First Street, or First Street and Main Street, it really doesn't matter which way you write it. One of them runs this way, one of them runs this way. Main Street runs east to west. First Street runs north to south. Those are the two streets that the library is on the corner of, so you need to write both of them. Make sure you copy it carefully. Make sure you capitalize Main and Street and First and Street. Alright, looks like everybody's ready to go on, I think. Alright, so the next one says, which building is closer to the park? The police station or the church? So you have to find the park and what building is closest to it, Riley?
The police station.
The police station. And you can copy the word police station right there from the question. So just write police station. Alright, the next thing says, how many stores are in town? So what was the symbol for stores?
Shopping cart.
Shopping carts. So count all the shopping carts that you can find. Allison?
10.
You, oh, we got lots of people don't seem to agree with
12.
Mm,
No, 11.
11.
11.
It should be 11. On the western Main Street side, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep counting on the eastern Main Street side, I see 6, 7, 8, 9. And then across the street, I see 10 and 11. I'm not sure, you just probably counted wrong.
Yeah.
Alright, if you lived on the corner of Center Street, so find Center Street, and Forest Drive, so find where Center Street and Forest Drive, and you live on that corner right there, that house on the corner. How many bridges would you cross on your way to school? So think about which way you're going to drive to school. How many bridges are you going to cross going to school? Somebody who hasn't answered yet. I got seeing people trying to answer. So everybody should put your finger at the corner of Center Street and Forest Drive, that house that's on the corner of Center Street and Forest Drive, and then take your finger and travel down to where you'd be going to school. How many bridges did you cross? Elise?
1.
1. Just 1. And it really didn't matter if you took the long way to school and went down Forest Drive to First Street, you still would just cross 1. But it would be easier just to go from your driveway on Forest Drive and turn down Center Street and go to school that way and turn on Main Street to get to school. Right? So just 1. Lakeside Avenue, so find where Lakeside Avenue crosses the lake. Raise your hand, true or false? Lakeside Avenue crosses the lake. Didn't you already answer 1?
True.
Michael?
It's true.
How many of you think that's true? How many of you don't think that's true? Okay. Does it cross something? Is it the lake?
Yes.
What is it crossing?
A bridge.
A bridge, but what is that bridge crossing?
A lake. River.
That's the river, guys. The river flows into the lake, but where that bridge on Lakeside Avenue, where it is crossing, is that the lake?
No.
No, the lake is beside Lakeside Avenue. It is crossing the river that flows into that lake. All right, and one more. Which is closer to the school, the library or the lake? Just say it. That one's too easy.
Library.
That was super easy. Library. All right, so you can copy the word library from the question. It's right there to copy.